Welcome to the CTNVR After Show, hosted by Edward Vinson. Tonight I'm going to quickly go over some of the things that you might find to be pretty vital to the future of your cryptocurrency. Plus, will the metaverse replace the internet? These questions and guaranteed a whole lot more. And we want to thank you if you're finding this much later than the stream, but I encourage you to still watch until the end of this point. You don't know what's really going to happen. Yes. See, you never know what's going to happen. Quickly, we'll move on to the next portion of this. Want to get everyone time to get settled in. There's no rush. Ladies and gentlemen, please smash the like button. We will get started in about 15 seconds. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so. I want to cover some things tonight that I found that I haven't quite dug into fully yet, but I'm hoping that before the time's up, maybe people will have come in here and we'll have some great conversations going. So, as cliche as it sounds, I still want to encourage everyone to smash that freaking like button, because God knows we don't get enough of those. So, and you can also have a subscription to maybe fill the air on your radio when you drive home. Or if you have something that you maybe are doing, you need to fill the air instead of listening to music, you could learn. So first and foremost, I want to start off with the merry old Crypto Talk Now tradition. And that is going to be looking at the coin market cap, top 100. Let's pull that up first. Cool deal. Obviously number one, Bitcoin, ETH, Tether. Keep talking. Dogecoin, 6 cents. When does that get into 25 cents again? A lot of people like it somatic. Shiba Inu coming at it. 11 cents. $11 for a million. 11 cents. Avalanche. People like that one. Uniswap. What's going on? Kronos. Come on now. Drop in the chat your favorite. We could take a peek at what you got. If you do have a favorite, that is. Thumbs up to everybody who's in here. You must say something in the chat. If you're not in here anymore, then I feel you. Quat, $135 for one coin. Dropped to $133 for one coin. Discount $2. Pretty cool. Chili's, 23 cents for one coin. We are seeing on some other things that Mana was doing its thing. It's very happy, so to speak. Looks like helium. I know they were talking about that in the Crypto Talk Now today. Max was talking about it briefly. Great show if y'all didn't check it out. Crypto Talk Now. Today, Max, it's Wednesday night, so it's his night to run the ship. He was doing a fantastic job as usual. Keep going down this list here. If you see something that you like, throw it in the chat. Or even leave a comment if you're seeing this later in time. XDC coming in at 3 cents. Doesn't get much better than that. So, y'all know, you can see it at the bottom of the screen. For those who can't read, it says not financial advice, meaning anything that we say should not be held against us in a court of law, because it's not advice to be taken. It's entertainment. Ethereum name service. I think that was recently put on an exchange like Coinbase, if I'm not mistaken. But ladies and gentlemen, that was our little pass through the top 100. Now, what I want to do next is going to be, let's pull the charts up, shall we? Because these say a little bit too, right? This is how you can really get a good view of certain things, like our friend Luna Classic. We can go back to look at the top 100 again later, but for now, this is what happened. When was this? I'm trying to think how many hours ago it was. It was 24 hours ago. So it was roughly about 48 hours ago. We got a nice little boost, which is nice, and you can see how horizontal it's been going this whole time, which is good. If we were to go to any other coins and look, I think this one's on the year or the week view, so it's not gonna be a good example, but still. If I were to go to reset this chart, tell me, how is it that one coin and this token are backwards, essentially? It's because it's the flux of all the money movement. I'm not going to use the magic word of Mr. Market Maker, but essentially, if you don't believe that these things are probably manipulated, then hey, more power to you. It just so happens that you can see almost some pretty strong correlations between these two things. There's a dip right after the 28th, and there's not a major dip right after the 28th. A little bitty boost. So I'm looking at the two different things, but still, it's pretty consistent all the time. And this is funny because Luna Classic is hard to get. It's hard to read Luna Classic on the charts because of how many different things happen based off of the news. And that is like evidence right here. This is not like a normal thing, I would assume. Well, obviously it's gonna be good, but it's all right. XRP. I was hearing some low numbers about this today. 36? All the way down here? Why would we go that far? But that's low. 34. Looks like a support line. You're on the 2 hour. $0.44 for this little coin right here. So I think it's going to go back up to 54 cents. I know a lot of people like XRP. Yeah, you know me. I'm hoping that if you're watching this right now, you're getting a little sneak peek exclusive of a CTN after show, the pre-show after show, the pre-after show. I know that we're still going, so it's likely that people are going to start pouring in at some point. You can join us in our Discord. Hop in live and you can get on live and talk to me right now. If you got some cool stuff you want to talk about, maybe you knew some things about some coins or some projects that you thought were cool, you can always come up here, say it. Why not? Luna Classic, everybody. So now we're gonna do this fun part where we We'll minimize that. Now let's take a listen to this goofball and hear if he actually says anything good. And before you click away, I have a story coming up that I think that you're really gonna want to get into, and I wanted to show y'all with everybody. So let's go here.
How can cryptocurrencies be frozen on a blockchain?
How can cryptocurrencies be frozen on a blockchain?
Feasible to freeze assets held in an external wallet, but it's also relatively common. The max on a blockchain. You might be surprised to find out that how can cryptocurrencies be frozen on a blockchain? How can cryptocurrencies be frozen on a blockchain? You might be surprised to find out that not only is it technically feasible to freeze assets held in an external wallet, but it's also relatively common. The maxim of not your keys, not your crypto is well known in the cryptocurrency space, and many cryptocurrency users and investors count on this fact when taking custody of their own assets. And it's widely thought that if you take control of your private keys, you always retain control of your assets, and hence cannot be subject to censorship. But recent events have proven that this isn't always the case. Indeed, you might be surprised to find out that not only is it technically feasible to freeze assets held in an external wallet, but also relatively common. But unless you're involved in major criminal activity, the odds of it happening to you remain low. Despite this, it is wise to familiarize yourself with this relatively unknown phenomenon. Here we dispel the myth that cryptocurrencies cannot be frozen on-chain. How does freezing funds on blockchain work? Before we get into how developers are able to freeze assets within a wallet, we first need a short primer on how tokens work. Contrary to how it might feel when interacting with them, ERC20 tokens are simply a reference to a database that keeps track of which addresses holds what number of units of said token, and the token contract is responsible for managing this database. When tokens are transferred from one person to another, the contract is responsible for changing the number of tokens associated with each address, deducting the sum from one address and adding it to another to ensure that the supply remains constant. Because this token contract is usually the only smart contract with the authority to modify the token holder database, it can be used to block access to funds, confiscate tokens, or in some cases, even burn the tokens entirely. If an address is blacklisted by the smart contract, then it may be unable to buy or receive and sell or send the token. Only an admin address will be able to update the smart contract with a blacklisted address. So why does funds freeze happen? Well, as you can imagine, these features can be used to ward off attacks and confiscate illicit funds or misused if someone gains admin control over a smart contract. Though rare, the vast majority of blacklisting events come after an illicit activity is detected in the smart contract, such as if an attacker uses an inflation bug to mint and transfer tokens to an address they control, or the police requests that assets are frozen pending investigation. Tether, or USDT, is one such token with these capabilities. The USDT smart contract has the capability of freezing and reissuing USDT. According to Bloxy Explorer, 704 smart contracts have been blacklisted by the Tether token contract, with new addresses blacklisted every few days over the last month. Most prominently, Tether froze more than $150 million held across 3 addresses back in January, with the firm simply stating that the funds were frozen in response to a law enforcement request. More recently, the Akala team froze 16 wallets containing close to 3 billion AUSD, a multi-collateral stablecoin pegged to the US dollar. Following an exploit that allowed AUSD liquidity providers to mint non-collateralized AUSD, the Akala team managed to recover and burn these fraudulently minted tokens, but not before the attackers were able to dump a sizable amount on Polkadot-based DEXs. It is also possible for smart contract admins to freeze funds potentially associated with criminal activity on external DeFi applications. For example, Circle, a popular USD issuer, recently froze several Ethereum addresses that had interacted with the Tornado Cash dApp, leaving them unable to send or receive USDC. It isn't just Ethereum-based token contracts that might have freeze, blacklist, and confiscation capabilities either. Most Layer 1 blockchains have this functionality built in as a core feature of token contract, and this includes XRP and Stellar, both of which allows developers to issue tokens with a global freeze function. This allows the issuer to freeze token transfers. And that said, the ability to freeze generally applies only to tokens. Despite popular belief, it is not possible to freeze the native asset associated with most blockchains, such as Bitcoin, Ethereum, BNB, or XRP, unless they are held on a centralized platform such as an exchange or with a custodian. In general, the firms behind these centralized companies won't freeze unless they are presented with with a police order or court order. Nonetheless, the associated parent company issuer or admin may reserve the right to freeze the assets for any or no reason. An excerpt from Coinbase and Circle Center blacklisting policy documents shed some light on when assets might be frozen on-chain, where Center determines in its sole discretion that failure to grant a blacklisting request presents a threat to the security, integrity, or reliability of the USDC network, including security breaches that compromise USDC privileged keys, for example, Minter private key, and result in unauthorized USDC being minted from such compromise. It should be noted that all USDC issuers are required to comply with an improved blacklist request, and most fiat-backed stablecoins have similar capabilities. Address blacklisting and honeypot scams. Though the blacklist feature can be used to isolate funds involved in suspected crime, it can also be misused by scammers through so-called honeypot scams. Most often, this takes the form of tokens that cannot be sold after being purchased on a decentralized exchange. By using the blacklist feature to automatically blacklist outbound transfers for any address holding the token, scammers can inflate the perceived value of the token on DEX explorers. This produces a characteristic chart pattern with wave after wave of successive green candles with few to no sell orders between. The scammer, which controls the only whitelisted addresses, seeds the liquidity pool for the fraudulent token and waits for the LP tokens to grow in value as victims purchase the unsellable token. Once the community wises up to the scam and the purchases stop, the scammer or scammers then withdraws the LP tokens, claiming all of the funds contributed by the unsuspecting buyers. And this type of scam is extremely common, with dozens of honeypot scams launching each month across dexes like Uniswap, PancakeSwap, and QuickSwap. Do you think that blockchains should be able to freeze assets, and what are your thoughts on the recent Tornado Cash ordeal? Let us know in the comments down below.
Well, y'all, you can let me know in the comments over there what y'all thought of this fella, because I called him a goofball at the beginning, but after I listened to him, he had some good points. I will admit. Now we got my desktop on there, so what's next? I said there was something pretty interesting to look at. Let's dig in. If you're just joining us, please smash that mofo like button, because why not? And push the subscribe button. You can listen to it while you mow the lawn. You can listen to it while you play baseball. So, the question is for everyone: will the metaverse replace the internet? This was created 7 days ago by Trust Wallet. It's a 5-minute read. But I don't read it all, and it takes us about 1.5 minutes. Table of contents. They're going to talk about what's the metaverse. Will the metaverse become the new internet? What technologies will be needed to access the metaverse? What are some of the challenges that the metaverse will need to overcome? This is a fun word: interoperability, monopolization, cybersecurity and privacy difficulties, incurred costs, and what is a trust wallet. Although the metaverse has been around for years, it wasn't until Mark Zuckerberg announced that his company Facebook was rebranding to Meta to better position itself as a metaverse company that the metaverse hype started. There have been conversations and debates on whether the metaverse, once fully developed, will have the potential to replace the internet as we know it today. Read on to find out whether the metaverse. Give me 1 second, I have a cat that's kicking around a bunch of stuff making noise. Okie dokie. So, as I was saying, there have been conversations and debates on whether the metaverse, once fully developed, will have the potential to replace the internet as we know it today. And so the first question after this is all started. It says, what is the metaverse? And this kind of goes on to explain that the metaverse is a virtual world created parallel to the physical world. Okay. And that'll be either augmented reality, extended reality, or virtual reality with artificial intelligence, crypto, and blockchain technology. Wow. So in the metaverse, people will be able to spend their lives digitally by living and playing and working in a virtual world. Users will be able to use personalized avatars to connect and interact with family, friends, and colleagues. Despite being new technology, the metaverse's projected market value worth of an estimated $758.6 billion by 2026. Currently, a single metaverse does not exist, as the technology required to support one metaverse is complex and will take a few years to develop. Instead, what we have is a collection of virtual worlds seen as early stage versions of the metaverse, like Fortnite and Roblox. As the metaverse is still in its infancy stages, only time will tell whether we end up with one metaverse or several metaverses. Ooh, interesting. Now, this is the main title of the document here. Will the metaverse become the new internet? Don't understand that concept, but it says no, probably not. Metaverse will most likely not replace the internet, at least not anytime soon. Instead, the metaverse will require the internet to function and provide services to the users as it is being built on top of the internet itself. So, that begs the question, was this article written for, how shall I say, a dummy? Because obviously we're going to have the internet fueling the metaverse, but is there a way that you can describe the metaverse as somehow being the internet? Let's read on. In fact, the metaverse will likely be an extension of the internet, as it will create a virtual world where people can interact, and they do as they do in physical worlds. The only difference is that in the metaverse, human beings will be represented by the avatars and utilize immersive gear to interact. As such, the metaverse will only enhance the internet as we know it. Well, people will still be able to carry out normal activities. Normal? As they do today, like what? Playing cornhole in VR? The only difference is that the utilization of VR glasses or headsets will help to significantly elevate your internet usage experience. Okie dokie. Well, that's kind of true. High five to everyone who uses a headset out there. Speaking of headsets, what technology is going to be needed for us to access the metaverse? Well, the metaverse will be an interconnected system of different immersive technologies and services that will enhance the virtual world. Now, to bring the idea of the metaverse home, let's use an example of mobile phones, shall we? And I always do that, actually, with my headset. I say this is very similar to having a phone. So let's see how they say. In the initial stages, mobile phones were simple tools used to communicate via voice and text. But today we have smartphones that enable us to do a myriad of things because of the technologies and services that have been interconnected into one single device. Well, however, achieving this took years of development and iteration. The same applies to the metaverse, and that's why you're yet to see one single metaverse. And even at that, there are crucial technologies and devices that users will need to use in order to access the metaverse. So for starters, like immersive technologies, the devices that get supported, augment, extend, and even virtual reality will be a must to have those technologies. Secondly, ultra-fast, ABD, robust internet access will be crucial for the enjoyment of the metaverse. So you gotta have high-speed internet, obviously. Can't just be dialing in to your metaverse. That's gonna be kind of funny. Let's see. Let's keep reading because it's almost to the best part. For starters, immersive tech devices that support augmented or extended virtual reality will be a must. Duh. Secondly, ultra-fast internet, like I said, will be crucial for the enjoyment of the metaverse. But last but not least, digital or cryptocurrency wallets such as Trust Wallet or Binance Wallet will be required to process or required to process digital asset transactions across the various digital services in the metaverse. So given that the metaverse is still being developed, there's still a possibility that eventually there will be enough technologies required. However, the above is now the bare minimum we're going to need. So the challenges, you could obviously think about interoperability. That was one of the challenges that if you watched our YouTube shorts, you saw that was one of the crypto's biggest challenges, because like it says here, the metaverse needs to overcome the lack of interoperability and uniformity amongst the different metaverse platforms that have been developed. If you've ever played any of these metaverses, you'll know that some are really good and some are really bad, and it's all just a matter of opinion, but they're all different. Interoperability means that being able to interact between different metaverse platforms or devices without being interrupted. So the challenge would be that the different metaverses might be built using different types of technology that don't work well together. In the perfect world, there's going to be NFTs that work well together, right? There's going to be NFTs that you can use for different things, right? You can take them into games. You can use them in one game and take it to a different game and use it in that game. So that's going to be an example of interoperability for certain NFTs. I'm not sure if anyone uses or plays any type of like medieval game with swords and shields and things like that. So those would be NFTs that you would get for your character, which would be likely an NFT, and those things would have statistics and little stats that you could use and maybe take out and use in a different medieval game that allows that operability between those two NFT types. Kind of cool. That's like one of the things that you would hear people say, smart NFTs. So what else is next? Monopolization, right? So the metaverse also faces a potential issue around monopolization. Only a handful of companies have had a major control over today's internet, and so only time will tell if the metaverse will face the same challenges where the big tech giants end up even developing and creating the metaverse, right? That's going to be fantastic. Privacy and obviously cybersecurity. To date, cybersecurity remains a major issue for companies and individuals. The metaverse is not void of this risk, so since the metaverse is storing more than just your email, any exposure that can be exploited by bad actors can just lead to data breach, affecting your privacy, obviously. Now, moreover, the metaverse will not just be a host for your personal info, but behaviors as well, and this means that the metaverse will need to incorporate strong information for privacy mechanisms. This means that the metaverse will need to incorporate strong information privacy mechanisms and personal data for each user to guarantee close to zero leaks of your data. And let's see here. We're almost finished, y'all. The costs. There's no denying that the metaverse is obviously going to be expensive to make this happen. So not only do users need to support a digital currency that's dependent on the metaverse platform that they're accessing, then there are issues of the personalization of the avatars and the tech devices needed to access the metaverse. All solvable, by the way. You can definitely do it. Throw enough money at it. Accessing the metaverse will cost you money, and it might be a few $100s. The metaverse might not be user-friendly, given that most of the technologies and devices are not lightweight or portable, and thus not suitable yet for wide-scale adoption. While there's no denying that the metaverse could be a game changer, it will likely not replace the internet, but instead enhance it. It's a technology that's still in its infancy, but probably needs a little bit more work to be fully ready. So this is explaining what a trust wallet is. Well, we don't necessarily need to read what a trust wallet is, but I feel like it's kind of, leading us into an advertisement. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it was the Crypto Talk Now pre-show, after show, hosted by Edward Vincent. What I'm going to do now is bring up Luna Classic. We're going to take a quick break and let some people get rolling in here, and we'll get started again once we got some more people. I want to thank you for listening, and I'll be back shortly, so stay tuned, drop a comment, bring your friends, make some popcorn. Pop a cold pop. Do what you gotta do. I'll talk to you shortly. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome Hump Not Dump, aka Crypto Winner, aka Badir, aka The Steamroller. How's it going tonight, sir? Let me try that again. We're gonna pause. Ladies and gentlemen, we got Hump Not Dump
Mic check.
in the
One,
building.
two, one,
Are we
two.
live?
And
Are we live?
We
Be
are
Ricky.
live.
Are we live?
Hello. Are we live?
Hello, hello,
Are we live?
hello.
Yo,
We
yo,
have
yo.
been live, people.
Yo, be
We
Ricky.
have been live.
Be Ricky, where you at? Hello?
Tell the
Yo,
people
are we
hello,
live?
would you?
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you for coming tonight, man, and joining our show. Tonight we're bringing that heat live
Yes,
from
sir.
New York City. Tonight we're over here in Brooklyn. Today your boy's taking a rest in a nice hotel deep in Brooklyn. Sorry for the voice, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a long week, but let's get to it. Mr. Market Maker was starting to run his shorts and collect liquidations to the 16,000. But what happened? We need more commitments to the upside, right? So we're gonna jump in right with it because the market maker are setting us up. Everybody, there was a lot of longs set up this week because the market sentiment seemed like we were going up. Even though we are in the green, we're still at a gray area. Because what happened 3 days ago, ladies and gentlemen, the CPI report came out at 3 o'clock. And what it's telling us is that the consumer and the retail traders and investors, nobody in America, only in America, I'm not talking about London, Hong Kong, the Hang Seng, or the S&P. We're literally just talking about the American consumer and Jerome Powell, hawkish state, where it has to come up to. Because in theory, if there's too much market, if there's too much money in circulation in the consumer's hands, then how could you fight inflation? In theory, if there's still more people spending money, then that's showing that there's still strength inside of the consumer's pocket. So what are we gonna do, ladies and gentlemen? It seems like things are getting out of hand. The oil is dropping, ladies and gentlemen. It's not a good sign because the dollar is building strength. And every time the dollar, and I've been stressing this, before we go into the market, before you want to trade, please, ladies and gentlemen, stop by and say hello to Mr. Dollar King, because we all know the dollar is king. When the dollar is rising, the S&P starts dumping. Volatile stocks tend to dump. People start seeking more secure assets. Unless you're a hard, seasoned trader, then you're seeking for the volatilities. But not if you're a retail investor. You can't play your weekly hard-earned money in the market because you still have responsibility. So you could only invest so much. So like I said, you heard the fuck you in the background when I'm deep in Brooklyn today. We're just having fun, ladies and gentlemen.
What
I'm saying is the point to this is that we have to come back down. We are coming down. See, the sentiments 2 weeks ago was capitulation. We were getting tired. The retail investor was getting tired of keep chasing and chasing and chasing and chasing. But why are they tired? Because a lot of these YouTubers keep spreading the FUD that we are going up. Oh, Bitcoin is going up. Bitcoin can't break 24,000 to save his life. It saved my life. I bought Bitcoin when everybody said it was going to zero. I bought it at 18,500. It went to 17,500 and started shooting back up. But they already had my longs set up for 24,888. And what did I do? About 2 months ago. As soon as they hit that, I shorted it again. 18,000. They said, man, you're nuts? Huh? You're not gonna dump? I said, no, I'm not dumping on this. I'm gonna short this. $6 grand. That was a couple of months ago, maybe a month ago, 2 months ago. But long story short, ladies and gentlemen, is that from June till now, we've been in the same zone. When Bitcoin dropped from 69 and in June, they started finding somewhere of a bottom at the 17,500. And then Mr. Market Maker kept setting up longs with the sentiments that Bitcoin was going to 28K. But everybody forgot about to look at the charts, look at the liquidation, look at your heat index, and see where is Mr. Market Maker accumulating liquidations inside of the zone. So now you ask, hump not dump, where are we going? But we're going back down to collect that liquidity at 16K because we have billions, not millions, we have billions, $80 billion worth of liquidity at the 16K mark. We only have millions in different zones all the way up to the 28. So what would you want to do? Would you rather go up and collect millions, or would you rather come down to 16K and capitulate the market and collect your 80 billion? I'll let you guys answer that on the chat line. You know, I also kept preaching. For those of you who's been following Pump Not Dump and EdVR and the whole Crypto Talk network, right? Blue Whale Ricky is a faithful Luna Classic holder. Blue Whale Ricky's been around with Luna Classic through the thick and thin of the mud. Blue Whale Ricky sometimes don't have faith in his coin because of the sentiments and the FUD of the market. Because even somebody that has been around his coin and all that for a long time can get confused by all the FUD in the air. It happens to the best of us, ladies and gentlemen. But when you have something like Hump Not Dump, not giving you financial advice, you know, but showing you that Luna Classic's resistant, her support, right? Her support bar was at 21. So what did I say, Ed? And I told that to Real Ricky. Ricky, if it breaks the 21, just bite your nails. He said, bite my nails? Yeah, because you're going to be nervous, just bite them. But don't sell.
Well,
it's
never.
Not going to go down any further.
Not in this range.
For Luna Classic to break that 21K, Bitcoin had to come down to 16K then. But see, Luna Classic, that time came and left. That play Mr. Market Maker had to do it last week when the market was really coming down. Right now, Luna Classic's burning token mechanism has already been implemented in fine tune, if you ask me, because ZZ from Binance just said it today. 0.1% of every transaction is going to be put to the side every single day out of every transaction in Binance. And all that money for Luna Classic will be burned daily. Some people are saying we might get 1 billion burns a day. With these sentiments in the market, where did we see Luna Classic coming out of the woods now, right? But not a few months ago. But Blue Whale Ricky in the morning will be very, very, very happy. Because what the market is showing and is telling us that if you couldn't break Luna at 6 times trying to break that 21 range of support, not resistance, support. It would have been resistance if we broke it. But it was our support line. We did come down to touch it. And all we left behind was dust and trails of a red vector candle, pushing it back up to the 26 zone. My man Ricky still got all his nails because he had faith in his boy Hump Not Dump. Still holding.
Still holding
but
his
he decided to buy some more.
That's good.
You're holding all his nails. You know?
Yeah.
And just like the rest of us, you know, this is a close-knit community. And I recommend to everybody who's getting into the cryptocurrency, right? Find you a community of friends and dedicate at least 2 hours a day to learn macroeconomics, or at least find out who owns your coin and what your coin does.
You know what I was
Please,
thinking
ladies
about
and
doing?
gentlemen, stop buying Bitcoin out of Cash App. You don't own no Bitcoin when you buy it out of Cash
thinking
App.
about doing today. I was thinking about starting to read some white papers, just read them on, you know, go through the TV or go put them on the screen and just let it scroll and just read the whole thing out loud and get to know things. You know, get to know them a little bit better. Because I know there's probably some that you think are good and they're actually not. And there's some that are bad that are, I mean, some that you think are bad are actually not, you know, and maybe the ones that are bad, you will find out they are bad. That's what I was thinking about doing, and I thought that would be pretty valuable.
And that sounds great and awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And it's great.
I was going to do Mononoke Inu, because that one, you know, sounds fun.
Now, Ed, you know I'm on the other side of the spectrum right now, right? And I'm on the go, so I don't have all my equipment set up. But are you live on the stream with me?
We have been live for...
And our beautiful audience here, you interacting with me today.
43
Or today
minutes.
just my engineer and I'm talking to myself.
We have been live. I will also like to tell you that before you joined, I did about a 30-minute or so segment, or it was a 30-minute or so stretch. You can go back and watch it after the show and listen. Give me critiques.
Of course.
Tell me I was very monotone sounding.
I'm gonna tell you right now, Ed B, ever since we have created our community, right? I stopped listening to other YouTubers and all that. The only YouTuber I will give credit is Tino from London, Traders Reality. Go check him out. You want to learn something? Go check him out. Go check Tino, Traders Reality. You will learn something. Then you come back to me and say, yes, thank you very much. Only listen to that man and come over here and listen to us, Crypto Talk VR. Because we bring that fire, we bring the heat, we bring the truth.
If you would.
That's all you need.
Look, I bet you probably start laughing. If you would, you can go, like, stop this our Discord conversation for a second and just go listen to the start of the stream. Because then you can go push the like button, just like everybody else should if you're listening. Push the like button. But once you do push the like button, just listen to like the first 30 seconds of the stream and then come back. I think you're gonna be like, what the heck? It's kind of funny. But if you don't want to do it right now, I totally get it. You might be already doing it. Cool. Well, in that case, oh yeah, he just dipped out. Okay, so I'll fill the air for a second. Fill the air with some Shiba Inu looking charts. What is this, an hour? We saw that Shiba Inu was up today. This was that. Oh, I got me a nice little cricket in here. I'm gonna pause this, I'll be right back. Alrighty, was not about to have a cricket popping up on my face while I was talking, but I did not end up finding him, so it's probably still gonna happen. And this is all gonna be called live on air. Right now we're waiting on Mr. Hump Not Dump to get back from listening to the first 30 seconds of the show. I think it's gonna be pretty intriguing. Let's see if I can go to the chat right now and see if there's anyone in there.
Right, that's seeming pretty good.
That's pretty interesting, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Sound like a news channel?
Awesome.
I'm probably gonna get a little bit better at what I did, but that's what you get for writing a little talk. I wrote a talk track at the beginning.
This line right here is live, right?
Yep, still going.
I'll go on the other line. Go off live because I got to do some technical things with you before we jump back on live for the second half.
Okay, let me see how I can do that. I'm gonna mute myself right now, and I'm gonna see if I can get over there. 1 second. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen. Luna Classic is looking good. What we're going to do right now is we're going to cut this thing off, if you know what I'm saying, Bobbit style. And we're going to talk to you again tomorrow. We'll have more fun then. I hope this music has given you the opportunity to create some very sweet and spooky dreams. Or if you're listening to this during the day, maybe it's giving you a bit of concentration from having people talk a little bit. Anywho, we are running over an hour, so I will talk to you all later.